Connie Mack is a former Republican congressman from Florida, an adjunct professor now at George Washington's School of Government, and Joel Rubin, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State under President Obama. He's now president of the Washington Strategy Group. Appreciate you both coming in.
Thank you very much, Ed. Thanks for having us, and congratulations.
Appreciate it. It's good to have you both. Congressman Mack, I want to start with you because the president went on to say in that little gaggle of reporters yesterday, and again, we may hear from him live in a few moments, and we'll, of course, go there at the White House if that happens. But he went on to say that he doesn't even think there should be public hearings. Congressman Mack, I thought it was the Republicans in your party that's been saying that you want more transparency. You want this out in the public. Now the president's saying he doesn't even want hearings.
I think what people realize and the president realizes is this is really a kangaroo court. You've got a setup on the Democrat side where they control all the levers, and they're only going to let one message out. I mean, they've come up with terms for these hearings that make it almost impossible for the Republicans to even put up a fight, and that's what they've tried to do is take everything away from the Republicans to be able to get a message out and put it all. This is all about getting the people of the country to support impeachment. That's what these hearings are about for the Democrats. They're trying to sell a point. They're not actually trying to determine whether or not there should be impeachment.
Well, let's get Joel Rubin in on that. Joel, if as a former Obama official, as you heard from John Sale, Watergate, you had some reaching across the aisle, some bipartisanship. Why have Democrats failed in the early stages, at least, to get some semblance of bipartisanship here?
Yeah, Ed, I wish that we did have Republicans reaching out and saying, yes, they do believe that it's a danger for the American president to use taxpayer dollars to extort a foreign ally, to spy essentially on and dig up dirt on a presidential candidate who he's competing with. Sure. This is a problem, and frankly, this process, it's legitimate. Right now, what the White House is doing is continually moving the goalposts. First, there was no quid pro quo. Then that was found. Then it was private hearings are bad. We need them in public. Now that's no good. Okay. One thing the White House isn't doing is engaging on the substance.
Okay. I didn't want to cut you off because I do want to give you a fair hearing, but I got to stop you on the extort and spy part. You can make the case to me that the transcript, I've got it over here, of the phone call suggests that it wasn't as perfect as the president says. But for you to say that the president was extorting a foreign leader and somehow spying, how do you back that up?
So the extortion is that he essentially went to the president of Ukraine and said, if you don't provide for me dirt on Joe Biden, and that is through a back channel, a shadow foreign policy, then I'm not going to provide you with military aid to defend your country, which is under attack by Russia right now. That's extortion, and he's using our tax dollars to do that for his own personal political benefit. That's why this is so problematic, and that's why Republicans aren't defending that action. They're using other arguments instead.
Well, let's give Connie Mack a chance. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ed, what Joel, sorry, I apologize, Joel, but what you just said is just not accurate. That is not what the conversation was. You know, this is the talking points that the left want to put forward, but that is not what happened. And the reason that you see the House twisting and turning the way they are, the Democrats, is because they're having a hard time to keep that narrative together. So, you know, it's really an opportunity for Republicans, if they can continue to shine the light on that this is a sham hearing anyways.
Okay.
But those talking points they're just not accurate.
Gentlemen, I got 2 minutes, so I want to give you both a fair crack at 2020 as well. If you want to talk a little bit more about impeachment, this is an open session, and I want everybody to be heard. But, Joel, you used to work in the Obama administration, and there were a lot of Obama people who thought Joe Biden maybe was going to seal this up. Michael Bloomberg saying, I think I'm getting in. Doesn't that signal that he doesn't think Biden is going to win this nomination?
Yeah, Ed, it really is a signal that Mike Bloomberg, he had said to Joe Biden he wasn't going to run. Now he's concerned. The problem for him is that there's not a lot of space in this primary for him to take votes from the progressive wing, so he may end up undermining Biden even more aggressively. But also, I want to mention with the congressman in his response on impeachment, that's all in the sworn testimony that was in private over the past couple of weeks. Everything that I said. And so we'll see it come out next week in the public hearings.
Some of those officials, though, Joel, as you know, have said, I heard from this other official who heard from this official. Some of it's been third or fourth hand, other parts of it first hand. Congressman Mack, I want to give you the last word. Are Republicans sort of licking their chops at the idea that maybe Bloomberg is also getting in because he fears that Elizabeth Warren or someone on the hard left is going to get the nomination?
I think that is true. I also think it shows how weak the current field is, that now Bloomberg feels like he can get in the race and have an opportunity. A lot of the left are really trying to dump on his campaign before it even really starts. And usually that happens when people are fearful that they're going to, the person could get some momentum. He's going to shine a light on the weaknesses of all the other candidates. And the fact that he's getting in now shows, I think, that Biden is no longer seen as the threat that he once was.
Yeah, Newsweek and a columnist at the Washington Post are also suggesting that maybe another former Obama official and Eric Holder may get in this race as well. Joel, it's going to get very interesting for your side. We'll have you back in the days ahead. Congressman Mack, always good to talk to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.